Are those
correct?
troubling to you?
I think he's going to, this is where I think that
He won't do it.
This is where, because it's hard, because it's so
I'll
hard.
do it.
This is where I think the question of whether he might not be confirmed will come in.
So
he's got business dealings with him and he's got a professional relationship with him. But he's read the newspaper. He's
No.
read that he's assassinated.
let me say,
This is not hard.
Okay.
Well, I don't know
Who are you?
he's going to answer
I'm
that.
Rex.
Are you Rex?
Yeah.
Are you concerned, Rex? And by the way, Rex, I like what you've done with your hair since you've left Exxon. It's grown out.
New look.
You look younger, more
Yes.
vivacious, Rex.
Question. Stick to the question.
So the
I know
question is, sir.
Yeah.
Sir.
Yeah.
The question is that tomato across the hall from you a Nazi? Sorry, I'm sorry. I got too much into his mode. Sir,
Does it
you do know
disturb
that he
you?
calls tomatoes that he thinks are staring at
Oh
him
my God.
ominously
This
Nazis.
ADD on the set
Olbermann,
is...
you know he does that.
No.
He looks at a tomato in his kitchen. He goes, "He is staring at me ominously. He is a Nazi." All right. So anyway, Rex, back to
Keith
you.
Olbermann?
No,
Okay.
it's Keith Olbermann. Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
He
go
thinks
ahead.
tomatoes around
Well, I'm
his
talking
house
about Rex
that
Tillerson.
are because they keep talking to him in German. The tomatoes in his kitchen. It really disturbs him. But anyway.
Yeah, I'm right here.
Rex.
All right, Rex.
Rex, please.
So Rex,
Senator, please. Chairman.
Rex, are you
Don't
are
walk
you
off.
concerned, Rex? I mean, he does those podcasts from his bathroom. But anyway, so are you concerned, Rex, by the fact that Vladimir Putin assassinates journalists
Yes,
with whom
I
he
am.
disagrees?
I think of one, Anna Politkovskaya, mother of 3, who was left, children were left, murdered in an elevator. This deeply disturbs me.
That's a good answer.
That is a good answer. Are you concerned also, Mr. Rex, because you're on a roll now, that Vladimir Putin assassinates in the shadow of the Kremlin political leaders with whom he disagrees?
I find this deeply disturbing, and I look forward to working with all of our allies and with Putin himself on moving forward
let me
through
ask
this,
you
addressing
this.
these issues.
Chairman, would you yield?
Seeing if there is a relationship to
I
be
will
had.
not yield.
Mr. Chairman, would you
I
yield?
will not
I'm
yield.
trying to
I
answer your
worked
question.
hard to be chairman of this committee. I will not yield. So let me ask you this, Mr. Tillerson.
Yes.
If you were so disturbed by the assassination of journalists with whom you mentioned, and you are so concerned with the gunning down of political adversaries in daylight with Kremlin, why did you do business with such an evil man for so long and call him a friend?
We worked on establishing our...
That's a little harder.
No, it's not, actually, because business leaders have different goals.
So Exxon's
And
profits
our
were more
goals
important
were-
to you?
Our goals were to build our company and
So let me
create
try this
jobs
way.
around
now
the world.
Now you go to me and I'll be Rex.
What? I'm doing fine here.
You did business with a man
Yes.
to benefit your company and
Right.
your
Yeah,
shareholders,
yeah.
even
Yes.
though you know
Can I
that
be
he's
smoking a
murderous,
cigarette like
he's a
Madman?
murderous
Right.
thug, and you still did business with him to make money.
Well,
President Obama did business
Senator
with-
McCain, I'll tell you, I believe, just like Ronald Reagan believed, just like great conservatives that you've worked for your entire life believe, that actually open trade and free trade actually is the best way to bring reforms, and hopefully democratic reforms to this country. Billy Graham, may I remind you, went to the Soviet Union in the middle of the Cold War and was attacked by conservatives. But he said it was better to open the Soviet Union up to our way of thinking and the gospel than to keep it closed. I'm not comparing what ExxonMobil does to what Billy Graham did, but I am telling you, free trade and creating open relationships with people that have American
now
values.
you're Rex?
Actually,
What happened here?
Yeah.
I'm going to adopt a Syrian
have any
family while you guys
sense-
do that.
see what I'm saying, though?
Yeah.
That's a good tack for him.
Do you have any sense, Rex, of the number of people that Vladimir Putin and Bashir Assad killed in the city of Aleppo?
I don't know, but I can tell you that it is deeply disturbing, and if I'm Secretary of State, it's something that we're going to have to address head on. Unfortunately, the Obama administration turned a blind eye to that killing for far too long.
Yeah.
We can't do that.
But we as people shouldn't anymore.
Right.
He can't show any equivocation on those big issues.
He cannot.
He just can't say, well, this but that.
No.
He's got to condemn those in the
If
strongest
he's-
terms
I
to
agree.
convince people that he's not in league in some way with Putin.
If he, I think this is the key point. If he shows equivocation the way Donald Trump showed equivocation when he was on this show to the assassination of journalists and the murdering of political adversaries, he will not be confirmed.
That's right.
He should not be confirmed. He should not be confirmed. There can be no equivocation. Putin has murdered his political opponents. He continues to murder journalists that he disagrees with. You're right. He can't equivocate.
And when you said that in our interview, you told him that Putin assassinates journalists. Donald Trump said back to you, well, America kills people too.
Right.
That's not an acceptable
One of the
answer.
most confounding parts of the entire campaign.
We'll see. Coming up, former Secretary of Homeland Security.
How was that
Tom
role
Ridge.
playing?
That was fun.
That was
You guys
fun.
stopped right when I was
So
saying-
let's do that next block. I am going to be Keith Olbermann, and you be
I'm
the
working
Nazi
with
comedian that's talking to me.
Thrill of a
Finding a
lifetime.
Syrian family. All right, retired Admiral
You will not
James
eat me tomorrow.
Stavridis on the heels of his meeting with Donald Trump. We'll be right back.
How does he get the lights in his
The
bathroom?
tomato.
This holiday, why not stand out with a one-of-a-kind present?
A Golf Now gift card, good toward any hot deals tea time at thousands of great courses. Visit golfnow.com/gift card today.
If you have a typical airline credit card, you only earn double miles when you buy stuff from that airline. Wait, is this where you typically shop? You should be getting double miles on every purchase. Switch to the Capital One Venture card. With Venture, you earn unlimited